YouTube. Hey, YouTube. Good afternoon, YouTube. I hope everyone is having a good Sunday. Now, when y'all see me, if y'all watch me on replay, when you see me look up, I'm working and I got a lot of people that texts me. So when something come up there, emails and all that, um, that's what I'm looking at. Because people is weird. What you be looking at up there? I have a lot of things come across my thing up there. YouTube. Listen, I'm gonna say this right now. If y'all get time, I'm gonna start my TikTok tonight at 8:45. If y'all all get time, even if you watch me on the replay, if you get time, come over there to my TikTok. It be popping. And tonight I'm talking about aged women, which I'm gonna start it here first. I made a video about aged women. And it came in the video stemmed from this morning when I went into the store. I mean, I hear a lot of it, and like I said, I never dealt with women my lifetime, my journey in life. I mean, I dealt with women working with them, but not like having like real true conversations or not understanding a woman. I never did. I'm a woman, but I'm a different type of breed of a woman. I don't believe in chasing men. I don't believe staying in a cycle for a long period of time because I was built to be this way. But by the almighty purposes. But for his purpose. But I went in this morning. I talked to a lot of women that I do business with all the time, but I don't normally get personal. You know, I don't never get too personal with them unless I ask them what is going on. But here lately, it's been like a lot of personal encounters with them. And the stuff that I hear, like, I'm trying to figure out how I'm going to say it. I got to be nice. I'm always going to be nice unless somebody be mean to me. Then I just get a little aggressive. Bad as spaghetti. You say, don't cry. No, I'm not crying. I'm trying to, you've been crying. What you been crying? Why you been crying, sunshine? No, it's hard. That's one thing. That's one thing it's hard for me to do. And it's still to this day. And the only time I do cry is when I think about my daughter. Oh my goodness, I cry. But that was something hard for me to do is cry. I never could cry. I Thank you, baby. I could never cry. I couldn't, sunshine. What you crying? What's wrong, so baby? Who bothering my sister? Who messing with my sister? Tell whoever messing with my Betty Spaghetti, they don't want to see the big sis or you. I'm the little sis. Who's the oldest? If you the oldest, tell them they don't want to see your little sis. If I'm the oldest, tell them they don't want to see your big sis because we ain't playing no games. But it was this lady today. It's because the Almighty sunshine. It's because the Almighty. Listen, if I never had a purpose, and I tell people this all the time, if I okay, I love you too, baby. Tell them they don't want to see me. Give them my email. Just give them my email. You know, be like, email this woman right here, and then you email me and tell me, well, this is such and such, and I'll let them have it in a good way though. It'll be nice, but they'll never forget the conversation. They better leave my sister alone. Tell them they better back up, because they don't want me to come through. I'm a quiet storm. No noise, no warning, and no permission. I'm coming. Like a freight train. But have a beautiful day, baby cake. Thank you, sunshine. But I've been here lately talking to a lot of women, and like I said, I don't normally get too personal. But here lately, it's been a lot of pressure on them, a lot of pressure. And I'm trying to find a way to get women out of the pressure. But the women I've been talking to face, not online, but, you know, around my community or other communities, um they be in situations for a long period of time, like whatever. Hi, sunshine. I'm just say hi. They've been under a lot of pressure and been in relationships over 20 some years, off and on. This is how they say it to me. I'm saying it the way they say it to me. I've been in a relationship with this guy off and on for 25 years. So I know what off and on mean. Off and on mean he come, he goes, he come, he goes, he come, he goes, he come, he goes. Basically, that's what off and on is. So this morning, at 7 o'clock this morning, she couldn't sleep. Her son couldn't sleep. I'm going to run some cycles down. She up worrying about what he texted her. She showed me the text. Horrible words. She is 60 some years old. I don't know, so I can't say 62, 63, but she's in her 60s. She's older than me in the flesh. So only thing she hollered to me, she said, I'm strong. I'm not going to let stuff like that just go past me. When you are in and out a relationship for I don't care how many years, even a year, and y'all made a commitment of being together. Now, I'm not talking about friends. I have to make that known too. If you just say you're friends, that friend have a right to ghost you. That friend have a right to walk out. That friend have a right to go date. That friend have a right to have options. That friend have a right to everything. Friendship is not a commitment. I never, ever will ever say friendships is a commitment. Friendship is not a commitment. I need people to understand that. When a man say we're friends, or we're close friends, or we best friends, that do not mean that that man is in a commitment with you. He is optional. You are you are actually in a option type of position, because he's gonna have many options. He's trying to weigh out his options. So when a man say to you, women, you're my friend, you're my close friend, or you're my best friend, Potomac, something like that word is, that don't mean that y'all are in a commitment. He's not committing to you. You are in an option situation where he can pick and choose who he wants. You're just his friend. But a lot of women give up. And if you children on here, I suggest you to back it up out of here. Because this is grown folks talk. And if you is listening and you're sneaking and listening, it go for you too then. When you and a man is friends, one thing I see with women that mess up relationships, stop giving up your vagina if you're just friends. Stop giving up your girl, woman, boo thing, whatever you call your vagina. Stop giving up your vagina. If that man saying you just friends, do you know you're just what he said, a friend? If he want to go get another hooter, another vagina, it's nothing you can do about it, because he put you in a category of just friends. Friends don't do nothing together. I would never. I had many male friends and still got male friends. I got a lot of male friends. But guess what them male friends ain't finna do? They ain't finna get my vagina. We ain't committed. We didn't make no situation saying we boyfriend and girlfriend gonna go over to being engaged or married, because you gonna have to marry me to get my cooter. Because I know what I want. I know who I am. I know my value. I ain't worried about no money. I ain't worried about no houses. I ain't worried about none of that. That stuff can get defiled. I know who I am. So if a man wants to date me, he gonna have to date me for data, and he gonna have to date me to see. No, they won't. Absolutely, they won't, sis. They won't take care of you or your absolutely, because you know why? They are friends. It's a friendship. Absolutely. Kingdom business, what it is. They're in a poly relationship. Things are so different. Absolutely. 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 Hi, kingdom business. Absolutely. Absolutely. And this is what a lot, and this woman, like I said, is 62. Absolutely. They got to. And that's what I do. Even when my daughter was alive. How you doing, sunshine? That's Betty Spaghetti. That is one of my TikTok friends, and I don't say fans because we don't play that fan crap. He's a good follower of Christ, and he supports the TikTok channel. He supports me all the time. So that's Kingdom Business, Betty Spaghetti. I don't say all that fan crap. That stuff got to go. A protector, and absolutely, but you can't blame the man. The man is not the blame. The man is only doing what, if that man is broken, that man is only doing what a man's supposed to do when he's broken. He gonna tell you what you want to hear. He gonna tell you what he think you want to hear, because a lot of times many women tell the man, oh, I got hurt, my last relationship did me like this, my last relationship did me like that. Absolutely. My last relationship. When you're broken, what you gonna do? You're gonna talk broken conversations. And then when the women get hung up in it, they end up getting, and this woman that was talking to me this morning, she said her and this man been in and out for 25 years. 25? That's 25 years. 25 years. Back and forth, and then them energies will go to your children. Her son, she was, I wasn't mean to her. I don't never be mean. I'm just bold, but I wasn't too raw with her today, because her son, he's 30 something, and he's on the ledge of the house wanting to jump because his wife want another man or had another man. One of the two. I can't remember, because once she said her son was on the ledge ready to jump, that kind of erased everything. And I say, sunshine, those are spirits in your home. Your son seeing you in and out of relationship with a man. 25 years. Hey, sunshine, hi, spiritual black sheep. Thank you for your support too, baby. Kingdom business up here. 25 years. And Betty Spaghetti, sis right there too. Of in and out. Absolutely. Absolutely, sis. Absolutely. And you know where it come from? You know where it come from? Hi, Twilight. You know where it come from? Mothers, fathers, siblings, grandparents, foster care, all of that. It stems from the lineage, the bloodline. It stems from the bloodline. I was watching something yesterday. I'm trying to go back over. Absolutely. Awesome. That's awesome. Everybody, you go through, but everybody, and I tell people this too. See, he married you. He put a ring on it. That's worth fighting for if it's your marriage. That's a whole nother level. That's a whole nother level. But that's good. He put a ring on it. That's different. This woman ain't got no ring. This man just coming in and out. Why you nosy? Why you nosy on my cheek, Twilight? Why I can't just why I can't speak? Why you all on my cheek, Twilight? Why you on my cheek? Tell me what it is. Why you on my cheek? You know it got to be something on my cheek if I see it. Tell me why you on my cheek. Absolutely. Absolutely, sis. When you are married, I'll fight all day for my I know I'm picking with him. I know picking with him or her. But I'm going to show him. I'm just very comical right now. I'm just picking. Right here. See? I know. I'm picking with you. You see them hearts? King of business, what it is, baby. I got a pimple. I got a pimple. So I got acne. You see it? Acne patches. They come in hearts. That's all. They got pimple patches. Yes. I got it from Dollar Tree. $1.25. So that's what they is. I know what you was gonna ask. A lot of people thought I had something on my face. But yeah, it helps pimples. I got one right there, so it's cute though. You get what I'm saying? Like a little cute. But you're married. You too, Sunshine. You're beautiful also. Sis, you are. Real talk, you're beautiful. And you're married. You are not in the category. If I was married, I'ma fight for my marriage. Long as I can. That's just what wives do. But these women I'm talking to, they're not married. The man not even living with them. The man is living with their mamas at 60 and 70 years old, or that man is living with another woman and they sneaking around and they catching feelings. That's an issue. It's a wound, not a physical wound. That's a spiritual wound. She said she been talking to her therapist, her and her son. He want to jump off the ledge because his wife don't want him. And I told her, I said, because you baby him. He's 30 some years old and you still babying him because you are still wounded. Then she said, well, she had good parents. But if you had good parents, okay, what wounded you? Absolutely. Can no man come apart? Well, if God bring it. And Betty Spaghetti, the Almighty brought that, because from 19 to now, 22 years, that's a good long time. But if God didn't bring it, like a person like me, I'm going to use me because I've been married. The Almighty didn't put me in that marriage to stay. He said, men are living with their mom. Yeah, man, there's a lot of men that's of age live with their mamas because their mamas won't let them go. Yes. But toilet made me hear my change of thought. But the man that is her son that was on the ledge about to jump, she pampered him where he don't have to show up as a man in his wife's house. I don't know the whole story, so only thing I was saying was she was like, well, I told him to leave her, but I'm gonna use me as a broken woman when I got into my kid's father when we got together. I was only 14 when I met him. 14 and about to be 15, 2 more months to be 15. I was a grown woman at the age of 15 years old. Didn't have no guidance, had no parents, nothing. When we got married, it was because we was on the brink of getting, separating. I didn't want him anymore. I was over him. That was 5 years in the relationship. We lived together. We didn't get married first. We fornicated for over 5 years before he said, I do. He wasn't married no other woman, though. He was like, Siobhan was the only wife I wanted, but she didn't want me no more. He meant that. He stuck to it. He wouldn't marry another woman. He was like, He couldn't have me back. He wasn't marrying nobody, which he already knew I wasn't coming back. I definitely wasn't going back there. Now, saying that he wasn't a man that couldn't get a woman, but the abuse from the both, not just him. And y'all never hear me say just the man. I don't play the victim, but the abuse from the, it was torture. Because if he throwing a hand, I'm gonna. If he throw a punch, I'm wearing black eyes. I'm wearing busted lips. I got my head busted. I'm cutting him. I almost cut his thumb off. It was brutal in the relationship. It was very brutal. So I wouldn't go back to that because either me or him would take each other out. Because many times I try to poison him. I try to take him out. I even set up one time because I was just a very vindictive woman. If you hurt me, I believe you should go. He had went and cheated on me. We both sat down and we said, we're not cheating on each other no more. We're gonna pull it in. We're gonna be nice to one another. I'll give y'all the real talk over here because I'm being honest. We said we'll never cheat on each other no more. We're going to be good. We're not going to do it. So that's a vow we made. We dapped it up. We didn't hug it up. We didn't cuddle. He felt like he wanted to renege. See, I held my end of the end of the deal. I did at that moment. I held the end of my deal. He went and cheated with another woman. Yes, absolutely, absolutely. So I let my little friend go. He was right across the street. He probably didn't believe I let him go. He probably thought in his head when I go to work, Siobhan gonna go across that street. But it wasn't so. It wasn't so. I did let him go. He lived right across the street. So I guess he went to work and he probably thought in his head. I can think about it now because I can see. I'm not laughing, y'all, but I do laugh over my relationship. Them men didn't trust me, Bo. Them men didn't trust me at all. You heard me? I stung them men. I did. Hi, Jasmine. But I'm just rolling back in my head now to think about it. He didn't trust me. None of them trust me. After we broke our loyalty with each other, they know I was not a woman that would sit still. Like, I'm not sitting still. They'll think that the relationship is going good and pew, I'm out. I remember you, Sunshine. So he went and dealt with old girl at the job. I remember you, baby. He went and dealt with old girl at the job. So our end of the deal was this was our deal. Our deal exactly. If we cheat on one another, commit adultery, we were married at the time. At that time, if we commit adultery, whoever break the deal ends. Gotta end. How could you smile now? Remember, yes, of course, because I'm delivered from it. Why wouldn't I smile? Because that was a piece of work. Why wouldn't I smile? Why would I be sad? Tell me why. What is the point of being sad that something happened over godly 20? No, not even 20. 1999. 1999. That's when all this went down. So if this stuff happened in 1999 and this is 2025, why wouldn't I smile? I don't let pain stay on me, honey. See, that's what I be talking about to a lot of people. People take life, something that happened like with my mother and my family members being abused and hurt and molested and all that stuff. Guess what? They got me when I was in my innocence. I'm not being bitter over that stuff because guess what? They can't do that to me no more. I'm 50. I'm not 45. I'm 50. And who are you? You're asking me a lot of questions. You're being weird. I need to know who you are because you're asking me a lot of questions. How old are you? But anyways, at that moment, we had made a deal. Whoever stepped out on the marriage, that's it. That's their lifeline. He stepped out. So he was nervous that I found out. I always hold when we make a deal, I stick to the deal. I made a big old pot of good shepherd's pie. And my baby, my oldest son, he talks about it every time we talk. He'll never forget it. He said, "Mom, you remember you get ready to take Pops out?" He get ready to take, and my oldest son said all the time, "Mom, you remember you get ready to take Pops out?" See, I'm gonna tell you how the Almighty work, and I say it on my end too. I don't care who you are. The Almighty will protect anybody. Anybody. He protected me from not going down for the rest of my life, and he protected my kid's father for not going down for his life. My son, he used my son to intervene in that moment. And my son, he had just ate, but he pretended that he was so hungry. But now to look over it, the Almighty was actually saving my kid's father from eating the meal. And the only reason why he didn't eat it, because when my son asked, it's 333, y'all. When my son asked, he was hungry, and he said, "Mom, can I get some shepherd's pie?" I said, "Absolutely not. You're not eating this. I'll fix you something else." So my kid's father said, he's no longer here. He's deceased. He passed away September the 25th, 2013. But he said, why he can't eat it? Fix him a plate. I said, I'm not fixing him a plate. It's for you. You worked all day. I'm laughing because I'm laughing at how his face was when I said that. If y'all would have met him, y'all would understand why I'm laughing. And he said, "Siobhan, can Mama, which is my daughter, can Bonnie eat some?" No. "Can Quan eat some?" which is my son that's incarcerated in North Carolina. "Can he eat some?" No. "Well, I'm going to make family members a plate." No. "It's yours. I made it just for you." Man, that man sat in that recliner, his eyes got like this. He said, "No, sir. No, sir." He had a dog. This is no lie. He had a dog outside. He fed the dog. It was over for the dog. He said, "Siobhan, you was going to take me out." I said, "We made a deal." This how wicked I used to be in relationships. When I tell you all, my relationships was toxic. If we're going to play dangerously. I never believed in playing light and slight. If you hurt me, you're going to hurt 10 times worse. That's how I used to be. And that's why the Almighty had to deliver me out of those relationships I was in, because I was just a woman. If you gonna tat, we're gonna play tit for tat. If you're gonna tat, I'm gonna tit. If you're gonna tit, I'm gonna tat. It was not me just being hurt and sitting down, letting a man just come in and out my life and just doing me all kinds of nasty and filthy and disgusting ways, and I'm supposed to sit there and take it. Absolutely not. Absolutely not. And a lot of women are not with the Almighty. They have the form of godliness, but they don't have the power therein. There are women that's in church right now as we speak. They got husbands home messing around on them, all kinds of demons on them, and they'll go right from church right to the house and start being their maid, start being their sex doll, start being their punching bag, start being their Alexa, just take all the filthy talk, and that's not of the Almighty. That is nowhere near the Almighty. You say I'm so powerful like Mike Tyson. Oh, no, I ain't like Mike Tyson. That man is wrong. Give me not Holding Phil. What's the other one? Ali. I like Ali. I like the Ali. Believe it or not, I used to love boxing. But I don't like it no more. Because now that I'm awakening, a person hitting each other in their face all day ain't cool. But I used to like boxing real bad. But because I was very toxic. When I was toxic, boxing was one of my biggest sports. I was very toxic. I didn't mind getting it with my kid's father. We definitely did not mind hitting each other, or me slicing him up, or him punching me in my face and messing up my eyes. I'm serious. I went through all of this. I went through all of it. Even with my second relationship, when I left him, we were together 6 years. We brought a home together, a piece of land and a brand new double wide home, because we saved our money. I'm a builder, so I'm prosperous. So if I'm in a relationship with you, we both gonna work together and we're gonna prosper. Every relationship I was in, we prosper, because I have a lot of favor by the Almighty and I am a chosen one. So every relationship I was in, we prosper. We got good stuff, we got everything, but we were building success off of broken hearts. You understand? Off of broken hearts. We couldn't keep it because we both, or we relationship, because after my kid's father, I immediately got into another relationship, and I was a married woman. Do you understand the domino effect? I was a married woman when I got into the relationship with the second relationship. Can we marry? Can who marry? I got into a marriage. I was already married when I got into the second relationship. So he knew I was a married woman. That's a broken relationship right there. We met wrong. We came in wrong. So when you go in wrong and you meet wrong, it's not going to stay. It's not a foundation, a solid foundation. It is a foundation of sand. So when I met him, I knew that it wasn't going to last, because I didn't even heal from the first relationship. I just went to divorce counseling and sit there and listen to the man talking about what you're going through and this. And I told him straight up, me and my kids talk. My oldest son definitely talk because he remember a lot. I don't care about divorcing him. I don't mind. He can have all the land. My kids, he can have everything. I don't want nothing. So what am I sitting in this divorce counseling for? I don't need y'all. You can't talk my pain away, because I'm not in pain. Yeah. Absolutely. Absolutely. I like that. Yes, like a painter paints beautiful pictures with some broken crayons. Absolutely. I like that. That's cool. I like that. I like that saying right there. That's cool. Yeah, like a painter paints beautiful pictures with some broke. Absolutely, I like that. That right there. I like that saying. But we were married. We wasn't married. So when I got in the second relationship, he already knew I was a married woman. So now he's trying to build a relationship. I'm in the relationship, but I'm not in the relationship because I'm just coming out of a relationship. And how that relationship ended, it wasn't a pretty ending. The ending was so destructive. I knew that the second relationship was not going to stand because of the pain that happened in the first relationship. So I already knew this is what you do when this is how you move when you're broken. That's why as chosen ones, we have to go in and kill out the cycles that is in our lineage. We have to, because we got to somebody got to break it so that poison won't pass down to no more generations. I was following the footsteps of my lineage because it was programmed, it was instilled, it was conditioned, and I had spiritual wounds, not physical wounds, spiritual wounds that was not being handled or being dealt with. So I'm moving reckless and not even thinking two thoughts in the wind that is reckless. My flesh just wanted to do what it wanted to do. I didn't take time. And when I was with my second relationship, I was going through a divorce, canceling. He even went to court with me and testified against my kid's father, that he was a friend. It was a whole lot of lying and deceit going on. That's why I can speak from experience. Like I said, I never will sit up here and play a victim in any relationships because I knew what I was doing when I got in them. But I was a young woman. I was in my 20s. I wasn't in my 50s. I was in, this is 20 some years ago. I was in my 20s. So I'm going to move very immaturely. I'm going to move reckless. I'm going to move with the wrong decisions. Because when you're 20, you really don't know what you want. You just do things just to do things. So now that I'm 50, I can't no longer move like I'm 20 because that's over 20 some years ago. And my mental now is so mature, I can't have the same mental as a 20-year-old and now I'm 50. If I'm still thinking like a 20-year-old, that means I haven't did any type of growth. There is no growth that's being dealt with. There was nothing that I'm trying to change. I'm not trying to change the narrative of my life. I just want to think the same identical way. That means you're stagnant. Hold on, y'all. Hold on. He might keep the alarm off. Kept the alarm off. But we can have the immaturity of the 50s. No. You can have fun in your 50s, but being immature, making reckless decisions, being a procrastinator, don't have a vision board, don't have a dream, don't have the intentions of healing. No, that's an issue. Being immature in the 50s is that's an issue. That means you ain't trying to grow up. When you get in your 40s, that's when your life actually starts to, the narrative in your life start to change. You start to become more aware, more awakening, seeing things in a different perspective. But when you're 20, when you're a teenager, or even in almost in your 40s, because when the Almighty awakened me, I was 44 years old, and I was still doing some immature things, decisions of pain. I had a lot of pain. I dealt with a lot of things, but I was turning to pharmaceuticals like drinking, smoking weed. Those were immature things. Cursing, fornication. Those were immature things. I wasn't changing my narrative. I was just trying to build success. Now, when it came to making money, that was easy. I could do that all day. I knew how to talk a good game to get in any job I want. Hold on, y'all. I got an order. But to change the narrative, I had to wake up, and the Almighty woke me up. But I was doing immature, still reckless things at the age of 43, because I got awakened at 44. And me and my 10-year relationship, which was my last ex, that we separated for the Almighty purposes in 2019. But I still had another friend on the side. All my life, I always had a man on the side. I never was a loyal woman. I never was. If I got out of a relationship, I had 3 live-ins, 3 relationships that were long-term. But I wasn't a loyal woman. If I got with that man, I had a man. I came out of that home into the other home. But when the Almighty awakened, when he awakened me, then I had to deal with those cycles that was instilled and conditioned in me. Sin. I never been without a man. Never. From the age when I got molested by my uncles, and that's been with somebody. But at the age of 10 to 11, then from 11 on up, I had a little friend. At the age of 12, 13, I'm having intercourse with a guy at the school. I mean, it was crazy. So all my life, I had a man almost. From the age of 11 to 44 years old, I always had a man or two or 3 men that I can deal with. That's immature because you are asleep. You're not awakening. You're not aware. You're just thinking that you're doing something normal. This is what everybody else doing. I'm going to do it. You get what I'm trying to say? But when you get to a certain age in your life, especially if you're in your 60s and you're not awakening, see what I'm saying? Absolutely. But it stems from your lineage. My family members, and they right now, my Uncle Theodore, all of them, they died as whoremongers. My mom, whoremongler. All my family members, whoremongers. Cousins, whoremongers. Prostitutes. Drug addicts. Alcoholics. Molesters. Fornicators. Adulterers. Pedophiles. All that stuff is in my lineage. Everything the Almighty say, you will not fit, that you will not enter into the kingdom of God if you got these type of traits. Every one of them, I came out of it. Murderers, big time in there. Absolutely, absolutely. And what does it do? It trickles down to the generation next. And then the generation next get filled with all this poison. Then it trickles down to the next generation. Then they get filled with all the poison. That's where somebody got to stop it. And I got chosen by the Almighty to stop it and to help others. I don't tell you what to do, but I know now, and I was a non-believer. I didn't even believe in the Almighty God. How serious and deep this thing is. I never prayed. I never read the word of God. I never, you hear people say Jesus. I'd be like, keep that away from me. I don't want to hear that. Everybody talk. My sister, we call each other sister. She said, sis, I've been watching you on TikTok. She said, sis, we be blown away about you. You ain't never talk. Man, we be talking about you at the job. Everybody is blown away about you. This is what the Almighty do. People be like, what synagogue you go to? I don't go to no synagogue. I ain't never surrendered to the Almighty. The Almighty woke me up because he chooses the chosen ones. Excuse me, you all. He chooses us. We don't choose him. I would have never chose the Almighty. I'm not saying that in the wrong way. I'm saying that in a truthful way because he knows the truth. But now that I truly know that he's a real living God up there and he really is real, I'm not finna play with it no more. I don't care if all the men turn their back on me. I'm not giving up my vagina. I'm not fornicating, and I'm definitely not letting a man come in my life and play pity pat with my feelings. We ain't bring around the rosy with my feelings. I really take my feelings seriously. Now, if you can't even be a friend to me, how can you be a man to me? If you can't even have a decent friendship with me, we can't laugh and talk about what we went through in life. If you had that type of experience, we can't sit around and just laugh at each other, love on each other. I got to get used to the holding hands and the hugging and all that stuff. I never did it. But no. If you can't be a decent friend and show up as a friend, you got to be friends before you love us. I can't do it. I can't. If you're going to ghost me as a friend, you are definitely take flight as we are lovers, and that's going to be an issue because I don't want no man like that. Thank you, baby. I don't want no man like that. I just can't deal with a man like that. I can't because I've been that type of woman before. Give me 1 minute, y'all. Hold on. I've been that type of... 1 minute. Let me get out for a minute.
Then take the first left onto Idlewild Avenue.
I got to drive for a minute. No, you can't. You can't. And see, now that I'm awakening, and and I tell people this all the time, the only reason why... Give me a minute. The only reason why I am loyal is because the Almighty put me in this position. Because I probably would have been still immature, talking reckless, talking ignorant, being naive, playing the games like men play game. I was just as rough as a man was. I'm sure I ain't waiting on no man. I'm sure not gonna let no man come in and out my life and play with me. If he ghosts me, I'ma ghost him. If he lie, I'ma lie. If he manipulate, I'ma manipulate. Now, and I never paid for a man. I never believed.
At light, turn left.
I never believed in paying no man. I don't know where they come from. I don't even know who started that right there. That man gonna have
In
to,
half a mile, turn right onto Maryland 322.
excuse me, y'all, my GPS. That man gonna have to make way more than me, honey. That man, it ain't no way I'm gonna make more than a man. Or I'm gonna be by myself. But other than that, like cheating, and I'm gonna wait for him to return, or when he come 2 weeks, then I don't see him in the next 2 weeks. By the time he come back, I done had me two men. It ain't, I played the game, and I know how dangerous the game is. And I felt just like everybody else. I was very rebellious, controlling, overbearing, egotistical, pride, arrogant. I had all them traits. I had all them traits. And if I didn't have the Holy Spirit, I would be living in them traits right now. Right now, I would be living in them traits. I'd have probably had me 4 or 5 boyfriends by now, playing with their heads. Give me 1 minute, y'all. It's a lot of fires. I pray they pick the patient up. Go ahead. This your show. The rescue squad stops at the stop sign. Yeah, he a rookie. He is a rookie. But but I played them games. I know how it feels, and you don't understand it, because when you're activated in the flesh
Speed limit camera ahead.
the flesh takes over you. I mean, the dark world takes over you. So you don't see that you're doing nothing wrong. You don't see that it's nothing wrong. You don't see nothing wrong with fornicating, committing adultery, doing all that other stuff. You don't see nothing wrong.
At the next light, turn right.
You don't. I'm sorry, y'all. Y'all gonna hear my GPS. I got to go pick up a delivery. But you don't see nothing wrong with it. But if the Almighty God, the Almighty Yahuwah, Yahweh, did not come and wake me up, I don't know who I would be with right now. I know I wouldn't be single. And I wasn't going to get married anymore.
At the light, turn right onto Maryland 322.
And I said I'd never get married again. I just wanted to fornicate all my life. I was like, fornication was the best thing. Didn't even know that fornication was a sin. God dog it. This stuff that I know now, believe it or not, I did not know before. I just knew darkness. That's it. Everything that was dark, that's all I knew. I knew how to be.
In about 1.5 miles, turn left onto St. Michael's Road.
She's talkative. Hey, how you doing, Christina? Hey, baby cakes. Hi, baby. All I knew was being dark, being successful, keeping a beautiful home, being with a man, going out partying, taking care of my kids, making sure they had all their materialistic things. That's what I was doing in life. Very successful. Money was not a factor. Money was not an issue for me. But it was the wrong thing and the wrong way. I was living in full-blown sin. And I tell people all the time, I'm a recovering sinner. I'm a recovering sinner. Because the traits gonna always be with me, because I got the flesh on my body. I'm wearing the body. I'm wearing a defiled body. But my spirit is cleansed. My spirit is now awakened, and my flesh is deactivated. So there's a difference. We always gonna wear our traits. The traits gonna always be there. But that don't
At the next light, turn left.
That don't mean to bring them alive. That don't mean I had anger issues real bad. Mood swings real bad. I don't know what my mood gonna be in. I don't know what mood I'm gonna be in. And if I'm angry with the whole house. The whole house gonna be turned upside down. Believe me, the Almighty brought me from a mighty long ways. I was a
light. Use the second lane from left to turn left onto St. Michael's Road.
I was a very toxic woman, you all. Believe it or not. Believe it or not. I was very toxic. Very, very toxic. When I hear stories when people be saying this and that, I'd be like, man, y'all, just tell the truth. Just tell the truth. Yes, he do. He love you too. I'm a chosen one. I'm glad you don't know me. But before you say anything, make sure you get to know. Okay? Make that something you do. Before you say anything to anybody, get to know, because you don't know who you're talking.
At the light, turn right onto Marlborough Avenue.
You
Then
talking
take
to
the next left into the parking lot.
you talking to a chosen one. So believe me when I tell you, I know Jesus loved me. I'm part of his the remnant. I am a chosen one. So I'm very transparent over here. That's why it's best for any new people that come up in here, before you say anything, listen to the message. Because if you don't, it's best to sit back and observe before you even type something, okay? That's word of advice. Any channel you go on to. Because I noticed that a lot of people go on channels and you just type something, or you just hear what you want to hear, then you start saying something. Don't do that. Don't do that. Because us chosen ones, we don't play no games at all. At all. You can see me laugh, you can see me smile, but when I feel some wrong energy, you will be dealt with. Believe me when I tell you, I'm always alert, okay? So that's word of advice to you. I know Jesus loved me. I wouldn't be here speaking to you all if he didn't. Because if I used to be like I used to be, this channel would be on a whole nother level. I'm being transparent how the Almighty Yahuwah and the blood of the Messiahs changed my life to who I am today. I'm talking about how I used to be before I became who I am today, okay? So if y'all don't understand transparency, then you might need I can't move over there. Hold on. You might need to go to another channel, because over here I'm very straightforward. I'm going to tell you right now, I don't care what it's about. I'm going to tell it like it is. That's why a lot of people don't heal, because they don't want to tell it like it is. I'm going to tell it straight like it is. Only thing with me, I don't curse no more. Now, it depends on what the situation is, and I don't do that no more. But if I'm feeling a certain way, I would have to repent, but I don't try to take myself there anymore. So I'm not going to tell you that the curse words, good night, sunshine. I'm not going to tell you that the curse words ain't still there, because it is. We still got the flesh on our body. We still got this demonic meat suit on us. But it's discipline. It's self-discipline. It's self-differentiation. It's self-preservation. It's self-love. It's self-care. It's obedience. So that's what I had to work on for 6 years. It was very painful, but I did it. I did it. I'm not going to say that it can't be reactivated, but I won't allow it to be reactivated, because I love the Almighty Yahuwah. When I tell you he brought me out the pit, he brought me out the pit. He brought me out the pit. And for a founder that I never believed in a day in my life, never believed in him. Never looked at people that go to church, come to church. Man, everybody say it all. Shabbat, man, we can't believe it. It's unbelievable for me sometimes. Believe me when I tell you. But I'm very transparent, because for 44 years of my life, I lived in darkness. I did a lot of dark things. I moved reckless, because I didn't have the proper guidance, the proper spiritual guidance. I was abandoned. I was rejected. I lived in group homes. I lived in different other homes, bootleggers. I lived everywhere. I was rejected by my mother, never knew my father. But Almighty Yahuwah came and awakened me and took care of me ever since then. So yeah, when you get on the channel, just sit back and relax and just see who you're talking to. Because over here, anybody will tell you, you've got to definitely know who you're talking to. I done been through too much. And I just don't play. But I do smile. I do love. I'm very caring. I got 2 good traits. I got the positive trait that's very strong. And that dark trait that I have to come in, bust a demon in the head, that's very strong too. So I'm like a quiet storm. I move with no warning, no noise, and no permission. Only from the Almighty. But this world, I would never get validation from it. It could never tell me which way to go, because I already know I got a father upstairs But I love y'all. I gotta go, y'all, because I got a big order. But come see me tonight on TikTok. Spiritual therapist. Come over there at 8:45, please. Come check your girl out. We're gonna talk more on it. That's gonna be part 2. I'll pick it up from here. See you tonight, spiritual black sheep, kingdom business. Shelly Shell. Did Shelly Shell come up here? I thought I seen Shelly Shell. Maybe not. Betty Spaghetti. All y'all, thank you all for coming up here. Since you know I see you tonight, we'll pick this up tonight because you know how I roll over there. I done switched my account from business account to back to personal. That's why I kept getting my lives cut, because when you do a business account, the business accounts are very sensitive to words. So that's why every talk, it would just immediately cut us off. Now I got a personal account, I switched it to personal, I'm good to go. So I'm not gonna be, I'm never reckless with my words, but I'd say it like it TI is. We will meet there tonight at 8:45, Lord's will. I love you all. Y'all all be blessed. Y'all hang in there. And like I say, when you convert from flesh to spirit, it's gonna be painful, but I'm gonna tell you right now, it's well worth it. Enjoy your day too, baby cakes. I appreciate you, sis. Love ya. See y'all.